Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. I am your brother, Old Guy, from Hip Hop News Uncensored, and sitting across from me is my co-host.
What it do? What's good? It's your brother Sam Ant, Viral Hip Hop News. We are in the building. Another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. I love this shit, man. Oh God, what's good, my brother?
Yeah, man, it feels good to be in the building once again for the 100th episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast, the most underrated podcast in the world right now, but we still banging through your speakers on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and of course everybody on YouTube. As always, hit that like button and make sure you share the video. 100th episode, Sam, man, how you feeling about that, man?
Man, it's a beautiful thing. 100 episodes in less than a year. That has to be said, because our first episode started in March of 2018, believe it or not, but it all started in the backyard, my old rusty ass backyard, where you had the camera, asked my perspective, and it went from there, man. A real special time. That was a year and a half ago or sometime, even before Viral was started. Yeah. And man, we just knew it was something special in the air. So we finally got it started, had the first set going on. What was our first episode of the Uncensored Truth that really get going? We were talking about it. The Young Thug and Lil Uzi Vert was a real good one.
Yeah.
We had a lot of
over 200K.
Yeah.
Look back. Yeah.
Bill Cosby had a lot of great ones. R. Kelly, when Jocelyn was first talked about. Yeah. A lot of great ones. So it's not even been a long time. It's been 10 months. And we cooking, man. We showing why we are the hashtag content kings. Right. And we doing work, man. It's real humbling, all that being said. Continuing to work and just put the work ethic in that we were raised on, man. It's humbling.
Yeah, man, we did a lot, but there's so much more on the horizon.
Facts.
We want it all. You know what I mean? We're going to continue to do what we do, as long as you guys keep on supporting us, you know what I mean? Sharing the videos and liking them. And just telling their friends about us, man. You know, share a little text message like, yo, man, check these dudes out. That's all we can ask. Maybe don't ask for money, nothing like that. We're humbled to be in this position. We're just ready to get to it, man. Definitely.
Indeed, man. It's time to work. Sam Ant, SAMANT. For those who like to call me Sam, man, that's all good. I appreciate that. About to market that, but it's Sam Ant, SAMANT. We in the building. Viral Hip Hop News and Uncensored. Make sure you hit that like button. Yeah. Who we got on the horizon today, oh God? What we got for the people?
Oh man, well, we got an old interview that's resurfaced where Nas was talking about Jay-Z and R. Kelly. We're going to talk about that. Also, we're going to talk about Ebro calling out Travis Scott and Big Boy. You know, also Rihanna is suing her father, as well as some other stories, you know, today. So yeah, man, we in the building. You know, we're going to be covering your favorite hip-hop topics for today on Tuesday. And with that being said, man, let's get right to this. Definitely.
Let's work.
Yes, sir. So, all right, man. Vlad TV posted an article. Yep. You know, and pretty much, you know, it's an old interview from Wendy Williams from 2002 where Nas was going on a rant, pretty much, you know, explaining, you know, going in on Jay-Z and R. Kelly. I'm just gonna play it and then I'm gonna get your thoughts on the same, man. Here we go.
Yeah, that's what I know. No movie. That's not my style. That's not what I want to do. Yeah, I could have put up movies, but I could have shared the R. Kelly video that everybody's talking about, made fun of it, and check your Jay hanging out. When Jay and I was in there going basketball boys, you can't tell me Jay didn't see a 14-year-old girl come in the studio and shit on R. Kelly's lap. You can't tell me, you can't tell me that he ain't never seen a 14-year-old girl come in the vicinity.
My belief is that anybody who's worked with him and been in his cipher has seen it go down.
You've seen it go down?
Yeah.
I've been around R. Kelly, and I'll pay for that, brother. I've been on a tour with him. It didn't last too long, but I've been around him. I didn't see no 14-year-old, but I talked to the man, and I've seen there's a little problem there. The brother needs help, and I pay for him. But if I sit there and put an album about women with him, I'm definitely going to be a danger. He had to be a danger for 14-year-olds, man. That's what I'm saying. What I'm here for the people, man. I'm here to talk the truth. And I'm going to
all right, so this interview is from June, 27, 2002, by way of Wendy Williams' experience, you know, on a radio station there in New York. At the time, Nas going in pretty much saying, like, Jay, like, you was with it, you seen them, you had to see a 14-year-old girl come in there. And he also at the end tries to even throw Jay-Z in there to say that he may even, you know, want to dabble in that type of activity. Sam, man, what do you think about this resurfacing, you know, right now by way of an Instagram page, but posted by Vlad TV last night? What are your initial thoughts on this?
Well, I don't like the fact that we got old shit being stirred up, but this is the day and age where old shit seems to get stirred up. Now, we're talking 17 years now when this went on. R. Kelly did some things a long time ago, and like I said, we're bringing that up now, so I guess this is within the context of the conversation in 2019. But it seemed real shady on how it was brought up. I think that it goes without saying that a lot of people saw a lot of shady shit. And I'm not sitting here condoning what Jay-Z might have saw. We said numerous times that he needs to speak up a lot more in regards to these situations. I don't know if he feels like he owes anybody anything, but his name is involved in a lot of prominent history in hip hop and in this music game. And his perspective would be very, very the climate in which is going on, especially as the hip hop mogul, as the man, as the king when it comes to hip hop right now. It'd be real influential to hear some things from him. That being said, man, okay, the context in itself, of course, I think that we all know that a lot of people saw some shady shit.
What Nas is pretty much saying is like, man, you know, you was around this guy, you guys spent time together, y'all did an album together, and then, you know, Nick Cannon even brought this up, you know, the Not Guilty song. We all remember that, what they was kind of talking about in there, you know what I mean? R. Kelly was pretty much making reference, you know, to him beating his case and all that and going through that whole situation. So it's just like, I don't know, man. You know, was Nas just, you know, coming off the cuff? Was he just angry?
Absolutely.
Or was it their point there? Go ahead.
I'm not bad to cut you off, but you're talking about 01 when Ether dropped. You said this interview was dropped in 02, so this is fresh during that time of them hating each other, effing guts. So you got to question the source right now with the timing of the situation. Who fished this situation up? We seen the Kevin Hart when the whole scandal with the Oscars, the question was raised, who had the time to fish this kind of information up to drop this now? It seems like his timing in particular is very, very on point when it comes to scandals, when it comes to just certain criteria or conversation within the hip hop game or whatever. He might have something in the bag where he can throw it in there and get his name back out there and get views. I mean,
Sam, man, are you making excuses for R. Kelly and Jay-Z?
How?
Was Nas just telling the truth about this whole? Because you in the beginning, we all can admit that a lot of people seen a lot of things, but they kind of just covered it up. That's what Nas is pretty much saying. Like, Jay-Z, you're dirty for us knowing that you probably seen. He said he don't have no proof, but probably you probably seen R. Kelly with some underage women, but you said nothing. Not only did you say anything, you did an album with this dude twice and co-signed this dude. That's what Nas is saying. So regardless of when he came out, it was said. That's
not what Nas is saying. Nas said it 17 years ago.
I mean, you know,
the time of the beef. Is he right? Absolutely, he's right. We ain't just now hearing it.
I never heard that. You heard that before?
Nah, but that don't mean we ain't seen nothing from 1972. You ain't seen every episode or whatever back in the 90s. We couldn't catch everything. True. I'm talking about the timing of it. Me and you could go easily. You know, me and you can go find some stuff, bring it up, put it in the headline on Hip Hop UN, and make it a headline. That's not what we're doing, though. That's not what we're here to do. It's a whole different kind of energy going on.
So who you question? You questioning the Instagram page that it came from, or are you questioning Vlad, who really made it popular? Because nobody would have known about it if it wasn't, you know, for the Vlad post. I know you said the Shade Room covered it. I'm not sure if they did it before or after Vlad, but they did also cover this story. So
I'm questioning Vlad, no doubt. If we talked about it within the, and I don't want to sit here, and I'm not condoning Jay-Z's
He's not the original source, though.
Who is?
It's an Instagram page. I'm trying to pull it up right here. It's another Instagram page that originally posted it that he actually linked back to. Yeah.
Is it a popular Instagram page?
No,
is it an Instagram page that could possibly make this situation go viral? Is it a situation where if you didn't give it to like a Shade Room, I mean, it's somebody feeding him information and him running with it.
Yeah.
How many headlines do you get? How many emails do you get on things you could possibly drop and make possibly a good amount?
Interview from Wendy Williams. Maybe somebody was going back and just remembered it and viewed, put it up. I'm the Instagram page right here. I got it up here. It's called The Facts Only. Has a picture of Denzel Washington on it. Has 56 followers, 1 post, 12 following people, and that's the only thing that's up there is that interview.
That's some fuck shit. I mean, that's some fuck shit. And I'm not gonna call anybody by name, but that's some
yeah.
And I question the source. I really do. When you have a conversation and you try to put Jay-Z in a conversation of this whole dirty scandal that's going on, and we already know his name is in it. No one's defending anything he has going on. But that being said, he is not R. Kelly. All right. He's not that anything that I've heard of, unless we got something coming in the next 5 to 10 years that we haven't heard about. We have rumored that he is very clean, and we want him to continue that way. We want to see every dude shine out here.
Well, we do have a clip. We do have a clip that we posted the other day. This was like the only time that Jay-Z ever spoke, on the R. Kelly situation. So I'll load this up and play this, right now for the people?
A couple times, but I don't really want to be like. I know he's getting calls from everywhere. Some people really concerned. Some people just want to be nosy. They want to know what's going on in the guy's life. I don't want to be another person like that. You know what I'm saying? Got love for the dude. If he's guilty, I just hope and pray that he get help. If he's not, I wish everybody, everybody embrace him, and whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not. Our contact is just sparse.
Okay. Were you, as a solo artist, were you concerned about that whole ordeal affecting you the next time you came out with this album?
I was not concerned for my career, like as far as an artist. I know, I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that. I know I ain't have nothing to do with that. So, the alleged incident. You know what I'm saying? So, it was just, I was more so, the one word and one feeling that I think about when I think about the album is just like blown opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, when we deal with the album, as far as we was in the process of touring, we was putting together a show, like a 2 hours straight. Like, you do 3 songs, run on stage. I'm gonna do 3 songs, run on stage. We're gonna change the set. Then we gonna come back and do Fiesta together. Then we gonna come do this one again. You know what I'm saying? It would have been something real creative, and that's the whole reason why that album came together. Was let's do something creative and new that nobody really done before, is bring these 2 genres of music together and make something really crazy, and they go out on tour and make history. We probably be in Europe right now. Yeah, that's what they would probably have 4 legs on that tour. Right, it would have been a beast.
So there you have it, man. Jay-Z, this was, he spoke. This was a long time ago. This interview, by way of MTV, .com. So. Very, very. I like the way that he worded that, man. You almost would think that he had an attorney coaching him, the way that he, answered those questions that was kind of, presented about R. Kelly. So, Jay-Z backing out of it. We had to be fair and play Jay-Z's part of the story, because I'm not sure a lot of people haven't really heard that. But what's your thoughts though on that?
You put it right there, man. You said it seemed very, very scripted, and I agree. Yeah, it's almost like an attorney wrote it for him, and I agree, because he knew the situation was hot, and we knew that he possibly seen something that wasn't supposed to be seen, and rather than him put his name out there in a negative light, like we know Jay-Z does not like to do, let me get some coaching, let me get some things on this situation, because we know Sway is very thorough about his journalism, and he's going to ask questions that need to be asked. And this is why Sway is a legend, and Jay-Z was ready for it. Yeah, he was, and answered it perfectly, because as he was going through it, it didn't seem genuine. He was saying allegedly, he was saying this, he was saying that. Every little,
he was looking down a lot too.
You could hear it. Like, I don't even have to, I didn't sit there and physically watch it. I've seen it before, obviously, but just to be able to hear it, I don't hear any real it's not genuine. So what I say is, it was scripted. It was perfectly executed, because he's a wordsmith. He's an orator. He can say a speech, but the feeling wasn't there. Yeah. And which makes me go, he saw some shit. He's being quiet right now. He's not gonna put the boy under the bus, and that's cool.
He wouldn't.
And I wouldn't do that either. I don't. No, I'm not gonna say that. Right. If I seen some nasty shit with a young girl, I'm saying something. I'm punching him in his mouth, and then I'm saying something. So I can't agree with Hov on that regard. Yeah. If I see
maybe he just didn't see nothing. Maybe he didn't.
You rob a bank, you cheat on your girl. You do some wild stuff like that. All right, fine. You doing something to violate a child? Yeah, I'm busting your lip
that's
open,
a whole nother different. Definitely, man. But man, there you have it, man. The older interview surfacing. Make sure y'all leave, what y'all think in the comment section. I know you are anyway, but go ahead and make sure y'all share this video and hit the like button. You are tuned into the Uncensored Truth Podcast with your brother Old God and Samet, going in on this Tuesday. This is our 100th episode on the books, man. Definitely excited to be in the building. All right, man, this story right here is pretty crazy when I seen this one, man. Rihanna, who I gotta say, man, Rihanna, when I listen to her music, it sounds like she's serenading me. Like for real, I love Rihanna, you know what I mean? I definitely love her voice, the sound, and all of it. Anyway, Rihanna is now suing her father for using the family the family name to brand his new business venture. Now, here's a good. It goes right here. It says, legal documents obtained by TMZ suggest that Rihanna sent her father multiple cease and desist letters before filing the lawsuit that claims that by using the Fenty name, her father's attempting to profit off of her. Now, it also should be noted, Rihanna has a business of her own called Fenty Beauty. I didn't even know that, which produces makeup and facial products. It says, meanwhile, Rihanna is reportedly asking for damages from her father and an injunction on his business that was set up in 2017. Now, despite legal actions, believe that Rihanna is still in contact with her father. We was both talking, about we can never, ever, ever, sue your father, but she's going after him right now, saying, man, what are your thoughts about Rihanna suing her pops for using the family name?
I'm trying to look at this in all spectrums, as a businessman, as a celebrity, as someone with a dad. Like, damn. And my first reaction is exactly like yours. There's no way. I don't care what kind of business I got out here. I don't care what's going on, especially if me and my father have a relationship, which is why I can't necessarily comment on Rihanna too hard, because I don't know what the relationship is, even though they say that they still speak. If I have a relationship with my dad and he wanted to go ahead and use a name or something for branding, and it wasn't absolutely annihilating or destroying the brand, I don't think that I could sue him. If it started hurting the brand, I would go to him before that and let him know we got to shut this down. But I still wouldn't sue him. Like, I would take every precaution and step, damn near to the point where I may lose my business to not take my family down necessarily. And I might be to a fault in that situation, but I just can't help to think. But if it's my family,
my thing is, why didn't she act? Like, why didn't he just come and ask? Like, yo, can I use the family's name for this? Like, and then, like, what is their relationship really like? Where he don't have permission to do that.
Don't know.
You know what I mean? We really don't know. And even the article says that they, are cool, but who knows? That could just be somebody just wrote, for a feel good story. But it's crazy, man. You can say that you would never do it, but being in that situation, I guess, with that type of money involved and maybe a different, type of thing. Who knows how much he made off of it or due to make, So
you remember back in I think it was 2017 with Lil Bootsy, he sued his brother. Was embezzling money from he stole. He was sued his brother, and we was like, damn, that's crazy. But when you look into it, and you have, some family, we all love family, but family sometimes is worse than people out here in the streets. We just call it for what it is. So sometimes you got to take it there with your family, especially when you get into a situation where you work your ass off, you do everything you're supposed to do to provide for your family. You ain't gonna let anybody take that down, in particular when your family members who's up under you trying to blood suck. It's not gonna happen.
And it seemed like the situation where it's like the reason why she's suing him because he blatantly did something he knew he wasn't supposed to do. So it's like, damn, you crossed the line with me. I gotta cross it with you.
I got to.
Yeah.
It's a shame that this is publicized. It's a shame that it had to be out there. We trying to give it a different perspective, you know what I mean? And do our due diligence with it. Right. But it's crazy that these kind of situations get even to our doorstep and things like that. Like, I wish these kind of things can keep it more in-house. Now, am I ignorant to the fact that these are public records? Are we publicly aware that Rihanna is suing her dad? Are those out for public record?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Somebody gonna grab it regardless.
Yeah, it might be one of those things that's here today, going tomorrow. They might settle it. It may not go through, but as of right now, that's exactly what it is.
Right.
Yeah, so good luck to them and their family. Rihanna, I think she has an album that's supposed to be dropping, I think this year too. So that's real dope as well.
I remember I met Rihanna one time when I was back in my old job and had her tour, our whole entourage with me, and I was sitting up in the corner and she dancing and I'm just staring. I ain't even gonna lie, starstruck, and that's what got me back and just getting into this and music and everything, because she's vibing with me and talking like I'm one of them. She's so humble and real chill. That's dope. Back then she was anyway. I don't know where she is now, but it was a real crazy experience. So shout out to Rihanna for that, man.
Yes, sir. But you tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother Oh God and Sandman going in today on this Tuesday. Everybody listening on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, wherever you're going to listen to this. Yes, Instagram. And we definitely appreciate, everybody. All right, man. I'm going to talk about this story, Sam. And Ebro, your favorite journalist, Ebro, called out today or yesterday on Instagram. He put a post up and said that this is trash, and he was and making it in reference to Travis Scott, performing at the Super Bowl, and he put love you, but this is whack. From there, he went on to call out Big Boy of the Southern group Outkast, and he said, "Big Boy, why, bro?" And he goes on to say, "This is whack to me now." Travis Scott is performing at the Super Bowl in exchange for the NFL to donate $500,000 to a charity of his choice. Now, it's not been said how much Big Boy, is making, but Ebro is calling him out, saying, man, what are your thoughts on Ebro calling out Travis Scott, and in particular, your boy, Big Boy?
He's looking more and more like a bot out here planted to start a real hostile conversation at Ebro in the morning. Let them. I'm looking forward to the smoke on that one. And that's respected smoke. I would love to sit down and have a man-to-man debate on why he does some of the things that he does. I'm going to call him out on it. This is the Uncensored Truth. I'll do it on Hot 97. I'll do it on the Uncensored Truth. I know it's going to be plenty of comments. No, you won't. We'll see. We'll see. That being said, we all know where our stance is when it comes to the NFL. We said at plenty of occasions we've gotten our ridicule for it. But that being said, we still watch the NFL. A lot of people out here are still watching the NFL. We talked about Colin Kaepernick and the whole reason on why we stopped watching the NFL for the year and boycotted the NFL. And now after a year, we see Colin Kaepernick. He's doing well. He's financially stable. The conversation's out there. Us not watching football isn't going to change the conversation of the horrendous things going on out here. Do we promote it as much? No. Do we buy into the brand? No. We take it for the grain of salt that it is, and we leave it at that. And I think a lot of people in a lot of households, a lot of your rappers and a lot of the people out here speaking up against anything, they're watching the NFL and watching their teams. You got Big Boy that's playing in Atlanta or the Super Bowl's in Atlanta. It's his home team, probably getting a nice check. Who knows where that check is going? Who knows where he donates? Everyone's trying to, or Ebro in particular, is trying to be in his pockets, not knowing what he's about to do with that, being critical, as opposed to talking to him to his face. You want to throw something on Instagram. That's kind of corny.
Yeah. I mean, I have to play the devil's advocate, with this. It's been a push, from a few people. Cardi B backed out. Jay-Z turned down the Super Bowl. There's been a few people who've kind of stand, firm, because, like the original premise, once again, was police brutality. Colin Kaepernick was, pretty much protesting against that. That's kind of been, put to the wayside. But then you had your athletes and your entertainers, that was like, nah, we're not rocking out with the Super Bowl, to something happen. So to see, a group of people that look just like you still going to do it, I can see how it could cause outrage by somebody. Now, my thing is go get your bag. You know what I mean? Because there's plenty of institutions that may be against us that we still got to get our money from. It's what you do with the money. You know what I mean? But, I can definitely see how this could garner some criticism. But some people just do their own thing, man. You know what I mean?
This is why I call Ebro robot, because in the same breath, you could sit here and talk this shit to Big Boy and talk this shit to Travis Scott. And we're not going to sit here and condone all of Travis Scott's behavior by no means, because we heard what he said in the comments that he made, and he deserves criticism for the comments that he made. And people were a little bit outraged when he was doing the Super Bowl initially, and now he went out and did charity. So whatever you want to do. And did we heard Cardi B did want to do the Super Bowl at first, and Jay-Z, and those names, and to each his own. You can have your choice and make your choice and stand on it. And you're both perfectly right in those regards. But why Ebro is a hypocrite is because as equally as you say this, you can sit back and back flex when it comes to Dame Dash being a nut, being this, being that, when all he's doing is promoting Black people, independence, free market, free will, man, and just trying to teach people the value of doing it and self-marketing and doing it on your own. 2 weeks ago, you were sitting here vouching for everything Fuck Flex did, and now all of a sudden, I said Fuck Flex, you heard that, and now all of a sudden, now you want to be pro this and pro that just because you just came from Ghana. And shout out to that. Everything that you do out there is beautiful. I'm not sitting here being critical of any of that.
Like Ebro, do you?
I don't. I do. I did. He's a staple in Hot 97. I just can't agree with a lot of the methods that he does, and I don't think he properly learned how to use social media yet, and it's backfiring on him.
Well, as we're talking about this, man, it's been brought to my attention that fans have now started a petition, for Travis Scott and Big Boy to take a knee at the 2019 Super Bowl. So what do you think about that report? Coming out now, that they want them to take a knee there. Now, right now, it's amassed 85,000 signatures as of right now, 6:52 p.m.
This is what I love. This is dope. Right. The fact that we can come out of here masses and have a voice, because now I'm not saying the pressure is on them to do that, but the pressure is almost on them now to take some kind of stance. You got to make some kind of statement. You've taken the manner of having this platform when there's going to be millions and millions of eyes around the world watching you. What headline are you going to make Monday morning? Because you can make one. What conversation are we going to start? Are you going to piss off the president? What are you going to do on the biggest stage at that moment when you have everyone watching? And the fact that you have 85,000 and counting telling you to take a knee, That's big, man.
So would you think that it's a waste if Big Boy and Travis Scott, they just go there and they don't, they just go in there and perform, do their dances, make the crowd move, and don't show any type of protest, don't do anything, even with their art form, maybe have, Beyonce had the Panthers and all that. Do you think you see anything like that happening, in particular from Big Boy, Travis Scott?
To each his own. I'm not going to expect them to, but I would really hope that they would. Because you can sit here and think of a Kendrick Lamar going out there and really rocking the show and really getting conversation started and really in doing us justice. Beyonce, like you said, you have a platform and a mantle right now where you can really invoke conversation, worldwide conversation. That'll be the headline everywhere. Everybody will be talking about that Monday morning outside of the game. Will be that performance. So you have an incredible responsibility and incredible opportunity in front of you right now. But what you do with it, it's up to you. Are we going to give them criticism Monday morning if they went out there and just sang and danced and did their normal thing? Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, man, definitely. But you tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Old God and Sam, man. Man, it's a beautiful show today, man. We got a lot of, a great topic, popping off, today on the Uncensored Truth podcast. But if you're listening on YouTube, I need you to do two favors. Hit the like button and make sure that you share this video. Yeah, man, that's Oh, you got another one over there, right?
Yeah, man. I wanted to talk because Neil Brennan, one of the producers for the Chappelle show,
right,
one of my favorite shows of all time, was on the Breakfast Club today, and he was talking about the Chappelle show, obviously the infamous Piss on You episode. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't.
Oh, my God. We're going to watch it when we get in the car. I don't know if we can even see it. But one of the greatest just TV episodes of all time. He was talking about that episode. I'll play that right now. I don't know if you got that queued up. Oh, God. If you don't, I do. And then we'll get our perspective on it. But here it is. Let's go.
Understand what comedy is supposed to do. Like, we will observe things, we'll make fun of things. Did people want us to round up a posse and go arrest R. Kelly? Like, what were we supposed to do? Charlie Chaplin made a movie called The Great Dictator, which was about Hitler. It made fun of Hitler. We made fun of R. Kelly. R. Kelly wanted to fight Dave. Yeah. He literally his goons stepped to Dave in Chicago, and Dave's goons intervenes, and there was the goons negotiated. So the idea that we somehow normalize this, like we also did a white supremacist sketch. I don't think we normalize white supremacy. Not at all. Our job is to poke fun at things, and even if it's bleak, we still poke fun at it. We were trying to humiliate a guy who was known for peeing. It's like insane.
Oh, God. Okay. So I want to break this down into layers. First off, R. Kelly trying to fight Dave Chappelle. Now, like I said, if you ain't see this, he dressed up as R. Kelly. He's saying, so I want to piss on you, and had fucking water gallons peeing on girls. He was shitting on girls. It was crazy.
Oh, man.
Wild.
Okay.
Really just throwing them out there. If it was in 2019, it would probably break streaming records. But that kind of comedy can't happen in 2019. So this is my questions to you, brother. One, just talk about that, like R. Kelly really being upset at comedic satire like that and really wanting to put hands on Dave Chappelle. Do you condone it? Would you want to do it if somebody made fun of you like that? And two, talk about comedy, because comedy is different, man. And I'm scared that we're losing the essence of real comedy. Talk about just, is anything out of bounds in comedy? And where's comedy at, in your opinion, right now?
Well, it's supposed to be like the guy was alluded to, and I seen another post, I forget what site it was, like, you're supposed to be like making light out of things that are like touchy topics, but like just kind of just bringing it out and just making it funny. Now is when you say something, that you're saying it as a joke. Everybody, with these different movements that they got out there, are taking things so, seriously now. Where they're calling it people's job, it's going too far. The society is becoming way too, I think, oversensitive when it comes to issues, like that. Now the issue, with him, I don't know why he would be mad about that. Unless there was some type of truth to it. And maybe, at the time, it just kind of got, maybe he kind of just wanted it to go away. And the fact that, Dave Chappelle, I mean, his show was one of the biggest, it was popping, would do something like that. It may have, gave him even a more negative image out there. That could probably, be one of the reasons why he wanted to put hands on him. Like, how dare this dude, go and make light of this. And people think this shit is funny.
It was the equivalent of that going viral, like a video hitting 2-3 million. That was what Piss on You did. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
It went crazy.
Right. Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
understand why R. Kelly would want to put hands on him. That being said, like what happened to roasting and what happened to like those were the funny things. You would see your comedians when people went up there and roasted Richard Pryor about doing cocaine and setting himself on fire. You laughed about it. Like you got it. Laughter, honestly, is the best medicine. I know we hear the cliche and we hear the term and it may sound cliche, excuse me, but it really is. People go to pills, people go to alcohol, but if they really just calm the fuck down and laugh some shit off, it would really just do the world a better, more justice, honestly. And the victim in 2019, and I was talking about in 2018, is something we really had to be wary of because there was some issues that we have to address out there, but victims it was being too popular to be a victim. You had you shame this, we job shame this dude, we did shame this and this person and that person, and a lot of your greatest people were made fun of as kids, and they had to grow with character. And a lot of things that you're doing right now is you're kind of handcuffing a lot of these kids by not having them face a lot of adversities that they have out here by automatically running to the victim role. The victim role is very easy. And a child that's being victimized is easily going to go run to that victim role and be coddled. And you may handcuff them or shortcut them or something they're supposed to be doing great in their life. You were made fun of when you were a kid. I was made fun of when I was a kid. It built us to who the fuck we are. Because we had to get tough skin. We had to learn how to talk back. We had to get rebuttals. We had to learn how to laugh stuff off. Did it get to a point where I had to get physical? No, because we learned how to fight. And if somebody stepped to us crazy, we put in work and you knew not to F with that dude. You may want to make fun of his looks, but that's as far as it's going to go. You had to build character. And eventually those people that bullied you, you understood that there were maybe something internal going on in their life. There's dialogue that could be done. Everyone can grow. Nowadays, there's too many victims going on and we just automatically throw point blame to this person or that person. And it's just creating a real soft ass society.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with you.
What happened to laughter, man?
What happened?
You're not allowed to joke no more.
I mean, not in this society. That's wild. It's like almost like, you could say it, but it's like you might be at a show and somebody says something, they put it up and one of these blog sites start posting, and the next thing you know, this person said this about this, and next thing you know, it's just a whole big backlash in the media. So right now, you kind of tiptoe to the tulips, when you're making different statements, but that's not true freedom. We're supposed to have, freedom of speech. That's a whole nother topic, man.
What do you see happening in 5 years? Let's take it there a little bit, though. Do you see it getting worse and eventually people not able to talk about anything, or do you see it kind of subsiding a little bit and slowing down and it getting a little bit, I don't want to say back to normal, so to speak, because I can only imagine if we started this podcast in 2007, 2008, it'd probably be flagged down right now because the speech and the language was completely different. And conversations that me and you have in the car, we know professionally we can't come behind these microphones and say certain things. We understand. But if we were sitting there comfortably, it should be flying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you think it goes back to the days where it gets a little more of the First Amendment where you can kind of have free speech and people get a little less soft, or is it getting worse?
Nah, I think that it's going to get way worse before it gets better.
What does that do for society, man?
I think it just makes it, it makes it worse, man, because that's one thing that we should value is not look at, all right, somebody said it, but let's have a conversation about why they said it. Let's get to the root of why they feel like that. Let's be more understanding, of why, because it's always when things are said or done, there's always, underlying, reason why somebody could be calling out for help or, anything like that. So, I would just want to see, more people just, take things a little bit more lighter and try to get to the root cause of why people, do what they do and say what they say. Like, why did this happen? You know what I mean? As opposed to just jumping on everybody. Oh, he's because even with the Charlemagne tweet that came out, a lot of people was like, oh, a lot of people was defending the cat. And it was like, oh, he was just trying to make this or this, all the type of different shit that they said. And I listened to a lot of the stuff and I'm just like, okay, everybody thinks different. Everybody has different opinions. We have to accept that.
And you know what? And I understand that. I have my comedy is crazy. Like there is nothing that you go there, take it all the way there when it comes to comedy, because it's supposed to have no boundaries. And that's my kind of comedy. So I don't get beat about that. And in regards to Charlemagne, it's just like, you got to be able to take criticism too. You can't dish it out and not be able to take it. And just because you may have a negative or a different of opinion in one regard doesn't mean you hate a person. It doesn't mean that word overall gives you overall premise on how you feel about a situation. And I think people do that too much too. They take one situation and they box that into being 100% of what the whole equivalent of what it is. And it really doesn't have to go that way, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, if I'm making sense on that, but
yeah, no doubt.
That's all I got.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But you tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Old God and Sam, man. Our 100th episode,
Yes,
man,
indeed.
in the books. Another one, man. We're going to keep on pushing throughout the year. Starting off the year, you know, very strong. We also got the Wake and Bake podcast that's going to be birthed, you know, very, very soon. You know, we're going to be dropping videos for that. And just continuing to put content out, man, on 3 different platforms, man. You already know where they are. You know, Spotify, we getting that situation. iTunes, you know, rectify real soon, so y'all can. But you can always go to the Uncensored Truth channel.
Indeed.
And you know, we're dropping the full episodes every day there as well. So definitely, man.
We having a good time, man. Make sure you subscribe to each and every one of the channels. Excuse me, Hip Hop News Uncensored, Viral Hip Hop News, the Uncensored Truth podcast, because you're gonna get different content, different perspectives on each and every podcast. Excuse me, each and every platform. So go subscribe and hit the notification bell to all of those. Sincerely appreciate each and every one of y'all on the 100th episode of the Uncensored Truth podcast. We celebrate here. We get right back to work.
Yes, sir.
Put our head down, and we'll be at 200 before you know it.
Yep.
The Uncensored Truth podcast, Viral Hip Hop News Uncensored. We out of here, man.
Yes. Peace.
Peace.